Is what you're saying actually true? Do you actually have proof to back that up? Or are you a talking head? Real talk. Welcome to Can He Be Unchained? You're here with your big-headed host, Verona. Alright, so today's Saturday, September 26th, 2020. We're still in this chaotic year. It's still going on. We're still doing it. There's still a ton going on in the news. There's still a ton going on in life. People are suffering out here. People are panicked. People are freaking out, man. So here we are. I'm going to record another cast. I just want to go over, I haven't recorded one of these in over a month. I had a little incident at work. I've been busting my ass. I move a lot of weight at work. So I got this like pain shooting up and down my left arm, right? So it's shooting up and down my left arm, and I was a little concerned. And whenever I get a pain like that, I'm like, all right, we'll give it a couple days. We'll see if things progress. If things progress, we'll go get it checked out. That's kind of how I've always taken it, because I don't want to run to the hospital for every little thing that hurts. Sometimes I'll have pain and it goes away in a week. Well, this one persisted for a couple days, and then it went into like Tuesday, and I started having the pain in my chest. So what do you think when you have those two pains? You think heart, right? So they called the ambulance at work. I got ambulance down to the hospital, sit down, ran through a million different tests, and turns out heart's completely fine. They even did the one test. I forget exactly what it's called, but they literally stick a tube in your wrist and run it all the way to your heart, inject dyes, and take pictures. So they did that, and it's clear that everything is completely good. That's my little guy. He's watching Ryan and yelling at the TV. What, you got a bunch of fruit on the TV? That's great. So back at it. Yeah, Jackson, can you be quiet for a little bit? I'm just watching I'm doing my show, okay? What do you want now? You want so many things. You want so many things. What do you want now? What do you want? Go get it. Hurry up. Let's move. What do you want? Do you want real food?
No.
You want Oreos?
Yeah.
Okay, grab the Oreos. I'll open it up. Oreos. Bon, bon.
That's you.
That's me.
That's my room.
Yeah, and there's you on your eye.
Yeah.
Go watch your show, buddy. I'm going to try to do this fast, all right? All right, yeah, that's a little guy. He's 3.5 years old, Jackson Tyler. And he was born in Texas, so he's got a Texas name, and back to New York, where I've been for 30 years. But, you know, love little guy. Little smarty pants. All right, so back to it. So, yeah, no, I was in the hospital. I got everything checked out. Heart is good, so now I'm thinking that you could do it. There you go. You're good.
Help me.
Oh, you knocked the controller on the floor, dude. You knocked the remote controller on the floor. That's why I did that. The remote controller's on the floor. You gotta hit the button. You see? Yeah, I got him hooked up in the Xbox controller. He puts the headset in, and then he can watch his show and doesn't have to disrupt what I'm doing here. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, as you can tell. But yeah, no, they checked out my heart. Everything's good. I'm thinking I just had like a pinched nerve or something because I went away 3 weeks later. But good news, heart is good. You got to hit B. Hit the red button. You see the red button? Hit B. All right, I'm gonna go take care of this. I'll be right back. There you go. It worked. 3 years old, and you can really explain what the hell on the controller, and he does it. It's pretty cool. It's cool to see. It's cool being a dad. It's my first kid, and probably have a couple others, but it's a really cool experience because the stuff you see these kids learn, it just amazes you. Today he came and we closed Grandma's pool, and I had him help out. He was loading up the water bags to put on the edge of the pool because it's semi-in-ground, and I had him using the hose, and he freaking soaked me. It was hysterical, but yeah, that's a fun little father, son, grandpa chore every year. So pretty cool. But yeah, so they checked out the heart. Everything's fine. I'm glad on that. They had me worried for a little bit, and kind of went on a hiatus on the podcast. But I'm back at it. I'm going to try to start recording every single day. All right? At least days when my wife's working nights. So figure I'm going to try to do 6 o'clock record or 6:30 record. Do it for an hour, give the kid a bath, put him to bed, and then edit it afterwards and try to release it every single night. I should be able to do that. It's just been very tough trying to nail that down. And I like to produce more content because I'm all over the news every single day. Today alone, like I was, what I do, I go on Twitter, right? I mean, I'll post stuff on Facebook, but I'm trying not to post too much on Facebook anymore because there's a lot of personal stuff on Facebook. So I go on Twitter and I just openly challenge liberals on their pages. So I follow MSNBC, I follow CNN, I follow The Hill, which The Hill I thought was supposed to be middle ground, but turns out they're full left as well. So I'll kind of post stuff in there, just asking questions, like just pointed questions. Like when you post this is your question, you know? So for instance, the one I posted today, because they love to post about Biden. They love to post how Biden is like, Biden is beating Trump. Oh, Biden said this. Oh, Biden said that. And like, I'll take it and I'll just kind of spin it on them a little bit. So instead of, let's say, I'll just read one for you guys. So it's like, okay, if I'm elected, I won't wait to take action on COVID-19. This is Biden's page. Minutes after the race is called, I'll call Dr. Fauci and ask him to stay on. During my transition, I'll bring together experts and leaders from both parties to chart a path forward. We will overcome this together. And I'm like thinking like, dude, if you're watching from the beginning, if you paid attention to the daily briefings, it wasn't political. Trump was literally bringing experts right to the table, explaining what we need to do. And they just ignored all that. At that time, if you look back then, what were CNN and MSNBC doing? They were debating whether or not even showing the briefings. Oh, there's just so much misinformation. Like, no, it was making Trump look good. It was making Trump look good, and you just willingly decided to like not post news because it was making him look good. So like that's where it starts crossing a line here. It's like, are these people honestly trying to help the people, or are they just trying to like beat up this guy? They're like bullies. Like seriously, they're like the worst kind of bullies. They just do nothing but beat him up for years. And it's like, come on, it's like at least let's move on from it. Come to the table. Bring some ideas forward. Trump always has his round table meetings and people bring and have good ideas there and he implements a good like just try to fucking do that. Make it happen. You know? There's no reason to have all this vitriol over the past 4 years. There's no need for it. It doesn't help anything. Nancy Pelosi should be removed from leadership. I mean, I'd say removed from office too, but let's start with removed from leadership. She does not reach across the aisle. That woman is wicked. She is wicked. Just everything she does is division. It's just all about division, and she blames Trump for division when it's her. It's like, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. You're doing a show while people are suffering, showing off your ice cream and your $20,000 refrigerator. It's like, is that serious? Is that like, are we a joke? Are we a joke to you? Like, I can't with Pelosi. She's just unbelievable. And then you got Schumer on the other side who just complains about everything but brings no action. Let alone that New York had like one of the worst COVID responses. And who are New York Democrats? You got Nadler. You got Jeffries. You got AOC. You got Schumer. You got Cuomo. You got de Blasio. You got this whole host of Democrats, yet Trump gets the blame. It's like out of all those heads there, out of all that leadership there, Trump is to blame? He's the one that put it on governors. He was empowering governors to make the move. And you want to say he's autocratic. How is this man autocratic if he's depending on governors? If he was autocratic, he would have flexed himself. That would have been it. But he didn't do that. He said, come to me, whatever you need, I'll supply. Chain of command. Right? An autocratic person doesn't do that. He makes the move, and you just have to go with it. So that whole talk doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. It's dishonest, and they keep spreading this stuff. So there's this other story that I caught a couple days ago, right? So they said, this is on CNN. This is 25th. This is yesterday, right? I saw the article a little earlier where it just says white supremacists killed in shootout, and they provided no information. So they got a little more information. White supremacists killed in shootout with California deputies. Okay, this is CNN. And this is why this title is dishonest. Okay, so they show a picture of a Caucasian, bald guy with a goatee. You can't see it. Oh, there you go. Caucasian bald guy. And when you read the article, you start going into it, right? So it's like it's a guy who has been a career criminal. Career criminal his whole life. Been in and out of prison. What did it say, 30 some odd times? Oh, he's been booked 28 times in jails all across California, including 2 incarcerations in a state prison. So this is not a good guy, right? But what I want to know is, how do you know the guy's a white supremacist? So, you keep reading the article. It literally just says that, oh, he's part of a white supremacist gang. Meanwhile, they don't name the gang. So, how true is the title, right? I would say career criminal gets killed in shootout with police. That's an honest title, right? Oh, a criminal gang member gets in shootout with police. But white supremacist, that has to be proven. That has to be proven, and your article should have the information in there to prove that. I mean, he had a significant criminal history, having been booked 28 times into jails all across California, including 2 incarcerations in the state prison. But what gang? Because you never know. He could have been in a gang, and if the gang has one colored person inside the gang, that's not a white supremacist gang. Okay, that would debunk that. So is there a reason why they're not naming the gang? Maybe. CNN has been posting a lot of dishonest titles lately. A lot of dishonesty. It's just unbelievable. It's like how do you guys get away with posting stuff that's so dishonest? It should be, dude. So that just got me the other day. I was like, get out of here with this. So today Trump is going to select his new Supreme Court justice. It's probably going to happen in a couple minutes. They were saying any minute now. Let's see. Pull it up. So yeah, it's happening any minute now, and it's more than likely going to be, I mean, it definitely is this person. It's definitely going to be this judge. She's going to get into. She's going to get into. They're gonna name her. So we're going to have a new Supreme Court justice, Amy Coney Barrett. Right? And the big concern now with the Democrats on the left is abortion, voting rights. Basically everything RBG is for, they're going to try to claim that this woman is against. Now, I think Roe vs. Wade should be full repealed, full turned over. Right? That responsibility should be left up to the states. I don't think the federal government, who is supposed to be protecting people, should be in the business of killing potential citizens. And people who like to say, like, oh, you're not a woman, you don't know. I have one little 3-year-old over here who's barking at me. But if you couldn't tell. There he goes. Dude. Comment. So I got that guy barking at me. And my wife had a rough pregnancy. And when she was pregnant, like, if you're a man and, like, honestly, and you're with your wife and she's pregnant, you're pregnant too. Okay? It was rough. Dude, I need you to stop. So, no, and when you're pregnant and you're married and, like, if she's pregnant, it means you're pregnant too. Pregnancy, I mean, she was rough. She was a pain. Jax, can you please be quiet? I'm trying to record my show. I need you to be quiet. You have to poop? Do you have to poop?
No.
Okay, well, chill out. Okay, so you got Amy Coney Barrett. And the big thing that they're going to push against is she's going to be against abortion, which is obvious. She has 7 kids. I mean, obviously she'd be against abortion. I mean, honestly, everybody should have some sort of line in the sand that you don't cross. I can understand if you have a medical condition where it's like either you or the kid, and then you have to make that decision. Like, that should be on them, 100%. But if you have no complications and you just want to get rid of this thing, then that shouldn't be allowed. Because after a certain point, you're literally killing a baby, right? And it doesn't even start there. Right? You look at specific communities. If you look at the Black American community, Margaret Sanger, Democratic Socialist, back in the day, who started Planned Parenthood, one of her goals was population control with the Black American community, and she accomplished that goal. Because a lot of these locations were set up in minority communities, and who predominantly has abortions? Black Americans. And they put a number to it, something like 20 million dead in that time. And if Black Americans had those 20 million people, they would have a lot more power in this country. A lot more power. But that's what happened. And people refuse to look at that conversation. They want to say, like, oh, this is women's rights. It's women's rights. It's your right to kill a living being. No, you don't have a right to just kill something. It's barbaric. It's wrong. I mean, I had an ex-girlfriend, and we had 2 abortions. One which was agreed to. I mean, we did it early enough. So it's like, there needs to be a line in the sand that can't be crossed unless there's some sort of medical condition. Right? But in general, we shouldn't be encouraging people to kill their offspring before they're born. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. If you want to say women's rights, what if there's a little girl in there? What about her rights? Right? The hypocrisy. So I mean, the left is just like off the chains with. They just want to like. I mean, I guess it makes sense given like globalist and population control. What goes on in China where you can't give birth to a certain sex, and they just cut it off, and we're all okay with China. We're all okay with their concentration camps. You can't say a word about China if you're a Democrat. I noticed that too. It's just, it blows my mind. It really does. It's something that really needs to change in this country. People need to wake up to it. We should be denying all products from China, and we should be producing everything here. We have a large enough country. We have enough people that need work. Put them to work. Let's make it happen. That's my 2 cents on that. So, Judge Amy Coney Barrett? Amy Coney Barrett? I gotta remember how to say his name. Amy Coney Barrett. Alright? So, she has 7 kids, it says? Wow, that's a lot of kids. That's a crazy family. How does she work? How do you work with 7 kids? That's nuts. And they all look pretty young, too. They all look like, 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there? Jeez. But she's dedicated to her work. She's dedicated to making a change. More power to her, right? We could definitely use another conservative on the court. We could definitely. And hopefully we see it happen. So the panic has set in for. I actually, honestly, like, the panic is on both sides right now because nobody knows what's going to happen. This election season is going to be insane. It's going to be crazy. And it's like, like Bongino calling, like everybody be prepared. The end could be coming. There could be mass riots in the streets. Things can get a lot worse. And it's like, yeah, they can. They can definitely get a lot worse. And you can definitely see it happening. I follow Tim Pool a lot. Tim Pool a lot too, and he's saying a lot of similar things. Where it looks like they're all drawing a line in the sand. Like, don't cross this, especially with the Supreme Court justice. But what I gotta say about Supreme Court justice, Democrats, this is karma. You know what karma is, right? Karma is a misdeed you did in your past, or a deed you did in your past, a good deed, and it coming around back to you, right? So this has to do with your misdeeds on impeachment less than a year ago. That's the honest truth. Because what did you guys do, right? You took a phone call that the president had with Ukraine, where he had a concern about Joe Biden and a quid pro quo he was bragging about. And then it turns out that Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, might have been protected amidst that quid pro quo. But instead of they rushed to impeachment to kind of cover up the Joe Biden fact, right? Because they already knew they were going to select him for president from the beginning. There was no reason to have any other competitors up there. It made no sense to have anybody else on the stage. So they bring Joe Biden front and center. And when they started doing their impeachment hearings in the House, you couldn't bring up questions about Biden. This isn't about Biden. This is about Trump. This is about this phone call. This is about election interference. And it's like, are we serious right now? If you look from the tape back, this video started circulating. Trump saw it, called Ukraine, and wanted to find out about it. What's wrong with that? It's a concern. It's a concern, especially if you're going to consider this guy for president of the United States. Dude, what's going on here? This is a concern. And part of the reason why they don't bring that up now is that it's gonna backfire. Right? It's gonna backfire on them. Because what they did was they forced through an impeachment on partisan grounds. First ever in our entire history, completely partisan impeachment. They denied the president due process during the impeachment. Right? And then they forced it to the Senate. First, they held it. Nancy Pelosi held it for 100 days. 100 days. No, what was it, 100 days? No, about a month. Not 100 days, 30 days, I'd say. So she held it back for 30 days and then finally brought it up in the Senate right around the State of the Union. Little on during the State of the Union, she's ripping up his papers in the background. She's a real unifier there, that woman. Unbelievable. Unbelievable with her. And what drives me crazy is I'd have more respect for Democrats if they actually held their leaders accountable. They all should have been lambasting Pelosi over that. That's just unbelievable. That's just ultimate disrespect. Let alone you have historic black unemployment and the entire Democrat Party does not stand up. So they don't want black unemployment. They want you guys to stay unemployed. They don't want you guys to be employed. They want to keep your numbers down because if your numbers are looking good, they're going to lose votes. And they show that blatantly. Insanity. Right? These people don't care about you. They don't. They don't at all. President Trump did more for the black American community than Democrats have in decades. That's the honest truth. You vote in a 90th percentile for the same people over and over again for decades. They just assume they got your vote. They got you figured out. Come on. People need to bounce back and forth. This is how you keep politicians honest. You keep putting different people in office. This is why I'm an independent. I refuse to co-sign with 100% of Republican stuff, and I refuse to co-sign with basically all the Democrat stuff today. They just so far off. They're hanging off a cliff, holding on to a little tree, saying, "You're wrong," saying, "You're the ones who are in trouble," as they're falling off a cliff. That's how I picture them today, because you can't even have a straight conversation with them. I just destroyed 20 people on Twitter at once. They all start commenting. I respond to every single comment because I'm not chicken shit. I will straight up challenge you. You want to say I'm telling fibs. I'm lying. I'm telling fraudulent stuff. Well, you better be able to back that up with some proof. If you can't back it up with proof, then that's your problem. That's on you. You're the one that's saying I'm wrong, but you can't back it up. You can't prove how I'm wrong. You can't prove your side right. You have no facts. So that's on you. I'm not here to call you names. I'm not here to put you down. But I'm going to tell you, like, if you are in the wrong, or if you don't have the facts backing you up, like, you have to see that. There needs to be some accountability on the left. There's none. There's zero. The Republicans have their accountability in their party. It's called the Tea Party. That was their accountability. They got Rand Paul in there. He's the fiscal freaking. He's like the fiscal warlock. I got a light shining at me. I'm gonna go change it real quick. But he's like the fiscal dude. You know what I mean? He's like, no, we can't pay for this. No, cut that off. You need a guy like that in the Democrat Party. Then you got a guy who's like a strict constitutionalist like Ted Cruz. You need a guy like that in the party. You need to have a healthy mix of people. You can't have a leader sitting at the top and whatever they say, you got to do. That's what Pelosi's doing. That's why she needs to be removed. She needs to be completely removed from office. And I hope that the Democrat Party wakes up. I hope they have a Tea Party movement within the party after they suffer this horrendous loss this year. We'll see what happens. I got to kill this. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. Halloween, Ryan, hit A. Where's the A button?
A.
Good job. Man, that was bright. All right. So, you can't have this happen with this party, right? Where you have this leadership where she's pretty much like a dictator. Whatever she says goes, otherwise she'll pull funding from you. That's a rumor I've heard. But like when you debate these people online, like I openly challenge them. I'm not going to call you names. Other than if you're like exhibiting bigotry, I might hashtag don't be a bigot. All right, that's like kind of like a soft way of calling a name, but being honest to how you're expressing your idea and how you're not accepting of any other worldview or any other perspective. Therefore, if you're fitting the definition, that's what you get. But the names I get called are like unbelievable. It just goes on and on and on. I had one person say something pretty funny. I was cracking up hysterical today. I was like, unbelievable. This is great. Let's see. Let's see if I can find this. This is a good one. He says, no. Where are you? This is the good one. I was like, this is awesome. I wish more people had humor like this. All right. Let's see. Yeah, no, this was going on for a while. I had like 20 people going at it, and I isolated every single one of them, addressed them, and they couldn't back up anything with facts. And you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and be like, if you can't back up stuff with facts, if you cannot have a fact-based conversation, and you have to resort to name calling and all this and the other, it's like there's something wrong with your argument. There's something wrong with your perspective. You have something to figure out. If you cannot back this up, if you're saying Trump is an authoritarian, you need to have facts, policy that actually back that up. There has to be an actual policy that backs up that claim. Calling Trump a fascist. People forget, fascism is a form of socialism. The Democrats are openly pushing for socialism, not Trump. So if they're a fascist, it's the same thing, same scenario. You got to tell them, like, dude, how is he fascist? Give me one fascist policy. Give me one. Give me one. Trump talks a lot of smack. He doesn't follow up all the smack he talks because he brings it back to his team. His team shuts it down. That's why you have a good team around you to shut down these ideas. Oh, here you go. This guy said, I posted a tweet too. I want to buy in things. It's like kind of like calling him out on his actions. Or his lack of actions, and how he had this big thing a couple weeks back where he's calling for a national mask mandate. We need a national mask mandate, and then he ran off without answering any questions. And I'm thinking, like, this is 6 months after the thing started. It's like this is how you're gonna this is how you're gonna act as president. You're gonna wait 6 months before you address something. Like, that's absurd. That is absurd. And then he said something about the riots a couple weeks later. I'm like, and you waited 4 months for that? So cities are burning for 4 months, and then you decide to say something. Like, come on. Get real. Took them that long to condemn it. So I started saying that, and then everybody's like, whoa, Joe Biden isn't the president. It's like, no shit, he's auditioning for the job. He's auditioning for the most important position in the land. He should be out there every single day making his case, proving his points, he should be on top of all the issues. He should be showing that his mental acuity is there. He should be showing that he's ready to step right in to the position. He should have a Supreme Court justice list already down on paper. They should already have this discussed. He should be presenting those people so that he shows what kind of people he would select for a Supreme Court justice. We knew RBG was going to pass for years now. She's been like teetering in and out of the hospitals, cancer, the whole nine, disappearing for all these stints because of her health. It's like, this was inevitable. This was a matter of time it was going to happen. And just the fact that it happens like two and a half months before the election, that's just karma for the Democrats. So I talked all this smack about Joe Biden. So their argument was, well, Joe Biden is not president yet. It's like, no shit, he's not president. But what's funny is, like, it wasn't one person who brought up this argument. It was like 15 people. All said the same thing. It's like, how original. Did you not see that one person already said that? I mean, that's what I do when I see comments. Because, like, I'll look at a comment, I'll start reading down the comments. And if somebody has my argument already sewed in there, why would I double down on that? You know, it doesn't make sense. Unless I have something other than what they said to share, it doesn't make sense to even say anything, because it's just stupid. But he had me cracking up. He said, use the ACA for your cranial rectal extraction while you still can. And I burst out laughing, because that's a good one. I can accept that. That's great. You know, I love when somebody's able to throw like a nice unexpected kind of original pun in there. Like, that's fun. You know, it's all good. You know, I could take it as well as anyone when it comes to name calling, whatever else. I mean, I've been called Big Ed Brawner since high school. Top heavy, every single Big Ed name you could think of. I've been called ass from the back of the day. That's why I always say at the beginning of the show, like, I embrace it. You know, why not? Why not? I got a big noggin. I mean, it's not really a big noggin. The hat sizes are normal, same as most people. Just the facial features, right? Got a nose too big for the head, eyes too big for the head, chin too big for the head. The proportions are a little off. I'm like a human toddler. I'm the human toddler, proportion-wise. But yeah, no, it's like, come on. Like, I just want, whenever I challenge any Democrats online, I just ask pointed questions because I want them to see the fallacy in their own thoughts. I want them to wake up. You know, because we need them to wake up. We need them to come back to sanity. We need them to notice that they're on a cliff, holding onto a little branch. And they need to get thrown that rope and pulled back to sanity. So that's why I always ask pointed questions, and it's like me throwing the rope. And I'm like, come on, grab on. I'll pull you up a little bit. I don't expect you to come all the way to the side, but come to the middle. The middle is where you find most of the truth. When you can give a fair look at both sides and make up your own mind. And like one of the things I'll do, like if I see a story like this white supremacist story, I'll actually look to try to find the actual facts, which so far I haven't been able to find, but I like to look for the primary source. If you tell me Biden did this, that, and the other thing, I'm going to watch this speech. I'm going to see if that's true. Because I remember when Democrats said that Trump said all Mexicans are rapists, and that was a lie. I remember when Democrats tried saying that he said, oh, white supremacists are fine people. That was a lie. You know, it's like, I can take a 2-second clip from anybody. You could pull a 2-second clip from this show and paint a demonic picture on what I'm saying. You could do that to anyone. You could find a 2-second clip of Martin Luther King Jr. and make him look like a demon. You could take a 2-second clip from Gandhi and make him look like a mass murderer. Like, it's not hard. You got to weigh out all the data and pick your poison. You got to pick the individual clip and then you cycle it. Oh my God, he said this. Everybody should be enraged. Enraged. But it's like, is it honest? No. If you put the whole thing in context, it says a completely different message. I mean, it's it's unreal. It's unreal how people are influencing people, and then other people are believing it, and then retweeting it, resharing it, springing it around like it's truth. And it's like, are the words true? Yes. Is the context true? No. You want something else? What do you want, dude? You want too much. You want dinner? Do you want the rest of your grilled cheese?
I don't want dinner.
You want the rest of your grilled cheese?
No.
What do you want?
Something else.
What do you want? Cheez-Its? Fruit cup?
Stop.
You want a fruit cup?
Yeah.
I got cold ones in the fridge.
What do you want?
You take a fruit cup? Alright, let me get a
What
fruit
do
cup.
you want?
So, if we could bring a little sanity to the left, that'd be best for our entire country. If we could bring black Americans to actually take notice to the actual statistics that are hurting their community, we could bring some peace to that situation as well. 52% of black Americans are on government assistance. It's either welfare or whatever else. That's a problem. That's a problem because the rest of the country is like 20%. So we need them to be at 20% too. Then we need them to jump on board and join that. And if we could do that, we're going to see real change in this country. If we could awaken that community, that'd be so big. That'd be huge. The power that would come from that. We need it. We need it. They've been held down for too long, and it's their own. They did it to themselves by electing these people in office. So I would love to be able to wake them up. I think that would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like, I mean, Trump's definitely going to get more support of them than he did the years past. I don't know how people can overlook Joe Biden literally telling a black man to his face that he ain't black if he doesn't vote for Joe. And that's come on, really. I don't know why them Republicans aren't putting that on blast more, because that was horrible. That was so egregious. He has a long history of that. I guess they don't want to get into the racism talk, but I would embrace it, because Trump's can be debunked. That can't. That really can't. There's no debunking that. There really isn't. Said it right to dude's face. He should have said it right to Charlemagne's face. Well, if you're deciding between me and Trump, then you ain't black. Oh, like, come on, really? And another argument I was getting against that people about was teleprompter. Because Joe Biden's been caught several times on the teleprompter. Where he's like giving them signals like, come on, like hurry up. Or he does his little, when I scratch my nose, let's get on to the next point. Or if I scratch my nose, I need help. You know, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I mean, the tell is definitely there. But man, for a guy who does as little work as Joe Biden to want to be president, like I was just doing this. I was doing this earlier, right? So I'm debating this one dude on. Well, I was debating 20 of them on like Biden's activity and how it's like it's not fitting for the job he's trying to get. So I post, Trump has been in 23 states this month. 23 different states. Speaking, holding conferences, holding meetings, the whole nine. 23. You know how many different states Biden's been in? 5, 6. It's like, dude, Trump's reaching out to everybody. Biden is hiding in his basement. He'll work one day, take the next day off. He'll work 2 days, take 2 days off. He'll work 4 days, take 3 days off. It's like, he's working half the time. It's like, how is that acceptable? It's not. It really isn't. Trump is he's busting himself. He's working hard, and it's evident. And I don't think Biden's capable of working that hard. And you gotta consider that for the job. I mean, it's one of the most important positions in the country. You gotta be able to do the job. You gotta be able to do the work. What is Biden gonna do? Is he gonna be having like a meeting with a foreign leader, and he's gonna need a teleprompter to answer the questions? Is he gonna have a meeting with a foreign leader, and he's just gonna throw a gaffe out there and maybe piss this guy off? It's like people are concerned with Trump with that, and that has never came true. but it's more of a concern with Biden because of his mental acuity. It's not there. It's not there. He's floating out left field, you know. And I just want to know who's behind the teleprompter, who's really running this presidency, who's really running it, who's really running his candidacy. Because it's not Joe Biden, let alone his website, which you could check on an earlier episode. Or went to his website, just looking through everything and like shocking stuff on there. So this election of all ages. I mean, I think even if Biden does get elected, the fact that Trump got 3 conservative justices at the Supreme Court, that's going to protect us for a long time. That will protect this country from socialism for a long time, because there's no way it gets passed without that. But the madness that these Democrats are calling for, they're calling for packing the court. They're calling for term limits for Supreme Court justices. They're really, and they're saying Trump is attacking our democracy. That attacks our democracy. You're saying Trump's doing it, but you're actively pushing for it. It's like, come on. Wake up. Wake up, people. Get with it. Because it's happening, and you need to hold your own side accountable. All right? You're not doing it. And I'm hoping these debates that come up, they actually do it a little bit. Point out some of the hypocrisy. Because now it's coming out that Joe's son had, except like $3.5 million from somebody in Russia, a Russian mayor, his wife or something like that. And it's like you're complaining with Trump with Russian collusion. What about Biden? What about Biden with Hunter? Ukrainian collusion, Russian collusion, and Chinese collusion. What about Biden with his brother Frank? Iraqian collusion. What about all those foreign pieces moving around? Let alone Hillary and her foundation, where she was collecting money from all these people all across the world. It's like they don't want to talk about all that. When that's like, it's more likely. It's more likely. I mean, Trump, he's been doing business all over the world. There might be a little bit there. But he wasn't a politician. He was freaking putting up buildings, hotels and stuff. These are politicians that have been in office for decades that have these foreign influences. It's like, come on. It's right there. You have to hold your own accountable. We need you to hold your own accountable. I'm throwing you guys a rope. Take the rope. Come up off the cliff. Let's have real substantial conversations. Open forum. Open discussion. Bring it. Challenge all of you. Civil discourse. You can call me as many names as you like. Have at it. Have fun. I'm here to talk about facts. I'm here to talk about what matters. I'm here to challenge your thought. Challenge your thought processes. I'm here to point something out so you ask yourself a question while looking in that mirror. Is what you're saying actually true? Do you actually have proof to back that up? Or are you a talking head? Real talk. Alright? I'm going to leave it at that. It's been real. It's been fun. I want to try to keep these a little bit shorter. I'm going to try to do one every single day. I think we hit enough at it. I'm looking forward to watching these hearings today. I'm definitely looking forward to that debate. I might even do a live cast of the debate while I'm watching it so you can see my reactions direct. I think that'd be cool. And then I might edit it and cut it short. Just so, because nobody wants to sit here and watch 2-3 hours of a podcast. But it's been real, guys, so I'm going to sign out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm definitely recording another one. I'm holding myself to it. I'm saying it on this film, so it makes it happen. And look, the sun's shining through my window again, so you got another two-face, all right? So, I'm going to leave you with this, all right? You've been watching Can He Be Unchained? Feel free to subscribe, like, share, spread it around. If you want to hop on the show, have some face-to-face conversations, I'm game. So feel free, plenty of comments, throw it all at me, I'll handle what I can. I'm not always going to get everything right, and I'm cool with that. Because where I'm wrong, that's where you gain real growth. So you've been watching Can You Be Unchained? Can you be unchained?